full crew
What's
here.
going on, everybody?
What's going on, Gen Nation? I am Spartacris. I got Zuplex, I got Scythe, and I got One Shot with me. We got a few things we want to talk about here. Before, just to give it a few more minutes so that some more people jump in. We were just talking about, today has been like a Paramount movie dump. I don't know if you guys have seen. There's so many shared universes announced. I'm most excited for the Blue's Clues movie with all three hosts. I know my daughter will be excited for that one.
The Blues Cluediverse.
We just gotta live.
The Blues Cluediverse, the BCU, we're gonna call it the BCU.
The BCU. There you go.
I think the thing I'm most excited about. There's been so many announcements, but I'm a little iffy on the fact that Sonic has already announced the third movie before the second one was released, and they announced a spin-off movie featuring Knuckles. So they're gonna build that out now into a new universe. I don't really get why you're announcing it so soon. But the thing I'm most excited about is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. That can be baller, I should say. Especially if they go with, I don't remember the characters' names, the rabbits and the toads and all that stuff. If they bring Battletoads into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe, I'll be all in no matter what.
That'd be nuts.
I would be all in.
Those were like some of my favorite episodes when they did the crossover.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Wasn't it Zitz, Raditz?
It would be cool to see Usagi.
Oh, absolutely, that would be cool. Do you think they give Casey Jones his own movie or just keep him as like a secondary player?
Secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's secondary.
He's a tough character to focus on for the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if the DCEU had it, he'd have his own series.
Well, he would. He would. Maybe they do a Casey Jones like TV show on a Disney Plus. Or Paramount Plus, I guess, right? Because Paramount's announcing all this stuff.
It could work if they make it more ruthless, less comic-y.
Yeah.
Because Casey Jones is just he's an ass kicker. You know what I mean? Like, he's just out there to hurt people.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, so Seth Rogen has said that his goal is to focus on the teenage part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's the one producing this reboot. So just by that alone, I would say that they're not going to go more gritty and violent and all that kind of stuff. So, they're probably your suggestion makes sense, but it's out of the question.
Right?
It's going to be what?
A lot of comic.
It's going to be animated.
They didn't officially say. I think they're going to go that route.
That it's going to be animated.
They did say that it's going to be animated then.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need a live action Turtles movie. It's nice that we got as many as we did, but we could stick to an animated movie. The TMNT animated one is phenomenal. So I still maintain that's probably one of the better Teenage Mutant Turtles movies we got.
Was one of the better turtle movies that they've come out with for sure.
What I'm reading now is that Paramount Plus to develop 3 spin-off villain features.
Features. So what villains? I guess you got to have a Kang movie, or one with Kang and Shredder.
Kang, Shredder,
or Krang. I'm sorry, Krang.
Krang.
I'm into the MCU too much. Krang, and then who else?
Krang, Shredder,
Baxter Stockman, I guess, is the other one.
Maybe.
Yeah, you could.
I don't even know a lot of the villains now. Like Bebop and Rocksteady don't get their own movies.
Yeah.
It's
possible.
No.
It's possible.
What would make me excited is if we get a Toka and Razor movie from the TMNT.
I would say that's less.
Toka and Razor versus Bebop and Rocksteady.
Now that is a movie I would see. You make it like a King Kong versus Godzilla type movie, and the two of them are the 4 of them, I should say, are just going at it. That'd be awesome. All right, I think we've given enough time. So, first topic on the list today, you got Dexter. Let me see if I can get a little image here for everybody. Pull this up. So I will say I didn't watch the show. However, I read about what happens. Now I watched the first. Let me preface that I watched the original series from beginning to end. All right, and I'm one of the many people that will scream the first 4 seasons are fantastic, and it should have just ended after the 4th season. This revival show I did want to watch. Just never kind of got around to it, and from what I've read, I'm pretty much glad that I didn't get around to it. It doesn't sound like anything that I would have been that excited for.
It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it, except for the final episode.
Except for the final episode. Now, we're going into full spoilers here. Did you guys all watch it?
I have
Yes.
not, but fire away.
They have Harrison kill Dexter in the final episode.
See, I read that and like, I mean, so you watched the show, Steve. Did that make sense? Was that something that you feel like should have happened?
I really like the character Dexter. Like Michael C. Hall is phenomenal in that role. So personally, I didn't want to see him die, but I mean, it makes sense depending on if they do it right for a second season. They could
I think
Deb or Harry and have him be Harrison's.
Right. Now, do you think so? The big question on everyone's mind when they even announced they were doing the revival is this was supposed to make up for the crappy finale we got the first time. Do you think they succeeded?
I mean, yeah.
Overall, they did.
Yes.
this is the final season we should have gotten the first time around.
I hated the final season, like with a passion.
It was so bad, and the way they ended it. And listen, I didn't want to see Dexter die either. However, there's a lot they can go forward with this now because Dexter. I don't think we're done seeing Anthony. Michael C. Hall. I think he's going to be Harrison's new Dark Passenger, the Harry role, if you will.
Okay.
That James Remar had for him. I think now we get to see. I think the kid that played Harrison was amazing. I thought he was really. I thought he did a really good job.
So you think that so you're saying that they will do another season and it'll be Harrison as the main character?
I'm saying they can.
There's
I don't know if
potential
they're
for it.
going to or not.
So let me ask you this question: does Harrison kill anybody in this season?
It was Dexter.
He kills Dexter.
Well, okay, yeah, he kills Dexter. Yeah.
He sets this kid up to look like he assaulted him, and he just defended himself when that wasn't the case.
Okay, so there is precedent then there that he will kill.
The thing was, they go deep into Harrison has the same tendencies that Dexter does. That's like an overall theme throughout the whole season. And then kid that he sets up had a kill list.
Okay.
Like as like one of these psycho school shooter types.
Okay, so he was a bad person. So Harrison sticks to the code then.
He wasn't on the code at that point. He wasn't necessarily a bad person. He was just bullied like a motherfucker.
Okay.
And the wrestling team set up a fake texting account and acted like a female to send him pictures and shit. So he was bullied.
Mr. Buttersworth is in the chat. Evening, fellas. What's going on, Mr. Buttersworth? Make sure you let me know if you can hear everybody. I don't want to go another hour where you're lip reading the whole time. So right now we're talking about Dexter. So right now it feels to me like if they fully announce a second season and it comes out, I will then go back and watch this revival season to lead up to that one. I think
you watch it regardless.
You think so? I don't know, man. The first four seasons were great. Yeah,
I got a lot of catching up to do.
They did real well on this revival series.
Scythe,
I think so too.
How much have you watched, Scythe?
I think we finished the third season, which I loved 1, 2, and 3. So it's not like I didn't like the movie. It was just the type of thing where we stopped watching and then kind of just got kicked to the back of the line almost, you know.
Basically, with the original season, with the original series, like once you get past the Trinity Killer, it goes all downhill from there.
Right.
Like the Trinity Killer is the pinnacle of that show, and it just there's a significant drop off after that. This felt fresh. It felt new again. Felt like they honored the original series without like getting too rebooty.
Okay.
You know? Where they're just like, it's the exact same thing happens all over again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Changed stuff on you a little bit. They didn't bring so many characters in from the original series. Only a couple. So
I like how they brought Batista back and shit. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They brought him back in a small role.
I did think that was pretty cool. I read that they brought him back as like he was almost like revisiting the old Bay Harbor Butcher case. So I mean that's a good way to tie in the previous show to this one.
And they have Harrison. Harrison carries around a straight razor with him because he remembers his mom's murder.
That's smart too. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. I mean, there's so many other things. You know, lately I've been into the sci-fi stuff, the fantasy stuff, all the comic book stuff coming out. Side note: the Rangers just scored, so now it looks like we got a tie game here, 1-1. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. I gotta be honest. I don't know if you guys really convinced me. I'll wait until there's like a lull in the things I want to watch, and then maybe I'll watch it. But
I think it's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, there's some really good stuff that they did in it. Some really there's a whole dynamic shift between Dexter and his son, where they explore that pretty deeply, and it's like think piece.
So you guys would say you're both excited for another season if they announce it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it. Like, I'd have to get over the fact that Michael C. Hall is not the lead.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess what, like Zuplex said, though, if he's the dark passenger kind of, devil on Harrison's shoulder the whole time, it's not the worst thing if he's not the lead.
I'd still watch it.
I don't see a situation where they bring us another season of this and don't have him be passenger, because it make all the sense in the world to do it that way, especially with because Dexter pretty much convinces Harrison to kill him at the end of the thing. It's not like Harrison just does it.
I read that, yeah.
There's a little bit of convincing and stuff like that. So Harrison gets older and starts exploring this dark side to him. He's gonna need a dark passenger like Dexter had. I think it'll manifest in Michael C. Hall.
All right. So I still don't know. I don't know. I got to make time for it. There's so many other things to watch. I got to make time for it. I'm gonna have to bump something off my list before I go into that one.
Just bumping anything DCEU off your list.
Well,
this guy.
You know what? That's a good segue into topic number 2. I mean, this is probably going to be the biggest topic of the night. But did you guys watch the DCEU the reel that they basically sent out, where it showed a few good shots of Black Adam, the Justice League of America, Flash? Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
Yes.
So, well, all right. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm not. Even after seeing that, I'm not that excited for it. I mean, these DC... I will admit that The Rock as Black Adam looks better. Better than I expected, all right? He looks good in the suit and all that stuff. The Injustice League, or the Injustice Society, I should say, of America, looks comic book... Like, you can't get more comic accurate than the costumes they picked for those people. It looks really good. Compared, I wasn't expecting it to look that good. Was it Dr. Fate? I think his name is. What, the helmet and everything?
Dr. Fate looks fantastic.
Unbelievable. I was blown away by how good he looked. Even Hawkman, the golden. There's no way I thought he was going to look good on camera. And then they had that one scene with his wings out in all its glory. Wow.
All right. Yeah. I wasn't sold.
You didn't like it?
Hawkman to me looked like. Well, all right. So I think Dr. Fate looks amazing. I think The Rock looks good. Black Adam. Aquaman, and specifically, I think looks too small. Like, he looks like...
So, like, the actor. Like, physically, you're saying it's too small.
Physically, he looks too small. Like, I would almost say that having The Rock play Hawkman would probably be a closer fit. The guy playing him.
Okay.
You know I mean? Hawkman in the comics has always been this hulking giant barbarian.
Right.
Hawkman, and the guy that they got playing him looks skinny.
Well, I will say, though, they didn't show him.
He's in shape. He looks like he's in shape. Don't get me wrong, but he looks like a gymnast, not like a barbarian.
Yeah, but we didn't see him in reference to anyone else. He wasn't standing near anybody. It was just him with his wings out. So just like what do they call that? He could have looked smaller because the wingspan was just gigantic, and he was in front of a building. You know what I mean? Maybe you put him next to the Rock,
Then
and he's gonna look
they
okay.
should have made his wing. Then they should have made his wings smaller. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
either
we
way,
are
like the look of him doesn't work.
judging him off of one quick image in a reel of a bunch of them. So
Have we gotten confirmation on who the chick is? By the way,
she was. Yeah, I read that. Hold on, let me look it up. I read
I was
the
looking
name.
it up at one point. I couldn't find it. There was like a lot of theories, but I don't know if there was any confirmation on anything.
Hold on, I got you. 1 second. Scythe, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say. To be honest, what girl are you talking about?
Where is the link?
I'm just gonna watch this minute clip real quick.
No, she was what the heck's her name? I read it earlier today, and then now I'm losing it.
I will say,
Cyclone.
yeah, like everyone
Cyclone,
said,
yeah,
Black
yeah.
Adam.
Cyclone.
Who? Oh, Cyclone.
Exactly. Who is the right answer to that? Because
Yeah,
Well,
no, agreed.
The trailer didn't make it clear, but what about Atom Smasher? I mean, he's another one who looked phenomenal. I was just blown away that the special effects actually looked decent. I know we're only looking at quick clips, but everything looked good about Black Adam, and I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, here's my thing though. Like, you have a perfect opportunity to bring in Vixen, and you choose Cyclone.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, I guess they got to choose, or I'm assuming the assumption is, excuse me, but I guess the assumption is they want to bring in people with varied powers that they can, alter the whole woke kind of thing, kind of make it match the agendas.
Yeah, but Vixen's a black female with animal powers.
Yeah,
like,
you
that's
could've done
varied
that.
enough. Like, I think it was a miss on their part.
I wonder if a part of them though knew that Vixen was already a big part of the Legends of Tomorrow on CW, and they didn't want to kind of just kind of step on those toes or cross over like that.
We got a whole Flashpoint movie coming out. Like,
Don't even get me started. I want to avoid the Flash conversation because that fucking costume looks horrendous, and I'm so angry about the fucking Flash show.
Everything about the character.
100%.
Building.
I liked Ezra Miller in Justice League, and they're just ruining him. And I can't. The only good thing about Flashpoint is that Michael Keaton's coming back. I really can't. I am not into it. The Tron Flash is not my favorite. I cannot stand it at all. I can't stand it at all.
Oh, I think it's a huge miss. I think that they're going to the worries that I had with Doctor Strange have a lot more with Flashpoint, because I'm giving
100%.
Marvel the benefit of the doubt, and I don't give DC the benefit of the doubt with this. Like, I think
100%.
they're gonna go super focused on the Michael Keaton aspect of it.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like for sure.
That's what it feels like, and I don't think that's the right move.
Mr. Buttersworth says Pierce as Dr. Fate is great, a great selection. I couldn't agree more. He's just the perfect actor to play Dr. Fate. He sounds good, and like we said earlier, the costume, they translated that motherfucking costume to screen so well. He looks phenomenal.
He looks phenomenal. It's honestly perfect.
I did not think that was going to look well on camera. When they said that he was in it, I knew he was a good actor to pick to play the part, but I didn't think it was going to look good on camera at all.
The thing is, like, it's like hits and misses with them. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's like Dr. Fate looks great. Hawkman looks stupid. Atom Smasher looks great.
Cyclone looks dumb.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they just can't get it all right. And it's frustrating. It's super frustrating because have some of the have a much better pedigree when it comes to like written material than Marvel does.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think. Go ahead, Scythe.
They prove that they can get it right. They prove that they can take something from the comic page and put it to live action, like Dr. Fate and everything. Like we know they can do it. Why they take their characters and then like decide, I think this is the one that we're going to change it up a little bit on, or this character. It just makes no sense. Stay true to the source. You
Yeah.
can clearly do it.
I mean,
don't
yeah, I mean,
understand
and
why
Marvel
they
has
need to
shown
change
that
it.
when you stay, I don't want to say Marvel is comic book accurate at all times, but they, for the most part, stick
Well, they
to
do a lot of tweaking.
They do a lot of tweaking, but they never tweak
Work.
the
Yeah,
foundation
they don't
of the
veer
character.
so far that they can't
Right.
return.
Right. They always take the core of the character, they keep that the same, and then they make little changes to kind of cater to whatever the story is they're trying to tell. I think that's the problem, though, is that Marvel seems to make changes that tend to fit their stories. Eternals notwithstanding, let's just remove that from the equation because there's a lot of things there that are questionable. But for the most part, they make changes that fit the story they're telling, that fit the medium of being on screen. And DC seems to make changes just because they feel like making a change or they feel like they have to make a change. Mr. Buttersworth says the McFarlane toy of Dr. Fate is out, and it is the design for the movie, and it looks fantastic. Well, he said he looks good, but I changed his words to fantastic because I think that applies more.
I'm sure both are accurate.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with the rest of the teaser that we got from them, Flash looks highly suspect.
Terrible.
It's
The Batman footage looks great, man.
The Batman, it looks good. I really want it to be good. I really want it to be good.
Can't wait.
I want to like him. I do. I want to like him. I just can't. I can't do it.
It's 3-1 right now. Steve, Scythe, and I, One Shot Scythe and I all are kind of like with Robert Pattinson, and Zuplex is into it.
Like I said before, I give all of these actors that tried out the benefit of the doubt because I was so wrong with Heath Ledger.
Right? And it's the right thing to do. I mean, we really do have to give him a chance,
I agree.
I go in with an open mind every single time. Even Jared Leto, like first saw the trailer.
One shot's out completely. It looks like
when I saw the trailer for Jared Leto's Joker, right, and
no, you can't tell me you were giving him the benefit of the doubt. The first image they showed, I was like, this is gonna fucking suck.
Listen, I literally said, "Oh, that's an interesting choice. Let's see how this plays out." Like I wanted to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Look, I didn't say he was going to be the best Joker ever. I didn't say he was going to be better than Ledger, but I was like, all right, this is a different direction. Let's see what they do with it.
I mean, that was God, I hated it so much.
And then they also cut a lot of his scenes.
Yeah, but stop trying to defend it, man. It's
oh no, but if you actually watch the extended scenes and stuff like that, it's not as bad as the movie was.
I'm about to turn your camera off. That's just not. You can't even say that. You can't even say that on my show.
You clearly
say it was good. I just said it wasn't as bad as the movie was.
I just feel like the whole the scene where he he starts laughing, he's trying to intimidate Common, and he puts his hand up, and that's like the smiling mouth. They focused on that thing so much, and it just was proof to me that they did not understand what people like about the Joker, or what's so not even what people like about the Joker, but what draws people into the performance. Heath Ledger got it down perfectly. My belief is that we really shouldn't even touch the Joker. Just let it breathe for a while. There's so many other villains. I am glad that in the Batman, Riddler is the main villain because honestly, he's the guy. He could be as big a villain as the Joker, in my opinion, if they do him right. And it seems like they're giving him some justice. They're kind of combining him with Hush. It looks like, which is fine with me.
Yeah. If they had to redo the Joker, I'd like to see Willem Dafoe in it.
Just that one scene in No Way Home where he's getting hit and he's laughing, it just screams Joker. Like, you can't fuck this guy,
I mean, there's some actors out there that I think play him. I don't want to see Willem Dafoe, even though I think he'd do amazing at it, only because, at this point, after No Way Home, he's solidified himself as the Green Goblin. For me to see him in any other comic book movie as anything else.
You know who would be a good Joker, a good younger Joker? I think Timothy Chalamet, if I'm saying it right, the guy from Dune.
Chalamet?
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
I think he could be a Heath Ledger surprise, intense Joker.
The dude that played Joker in Gotham.
Oh, he was great.
Yes,
he was great for that unhinged Joker. Hell yeah.
When in Gotham, when the first time you see him really going crazy and they're all watching the news feed of him, and it was at that moment I'm like, this kid is the Joker. I there was no question in my mind that this kid's the Joker when
100%.
Like the police is watching the TV intently, like they're like, "Oh my god, what's he doing?" He's just going.
He commanded. As of right now. I mean, listen, Joaquin Phoenix did his job as the Joker in that movie, but I can't think of the actor's name now. But the guy from Gotham, I hated that show with a passion. I thought it was a good concept, and they absolutely ruined it. But he commanded the screen as Joker almost as good as Heath Ledger did. He made you glued to that screen. Real quick, Mr. Buttersworth says, you go from a sparkling vampire to the Dark Knight. You better pray this movie's going to pay off. I agree.
It went from back now to the best Joker anybody's ever seen. So you're like, you can't. I'm tired of people. This is what bothers me, bro. I'm tired of guys like looking at somebody's previous work and being like, "Oh, he was a sparkly vampire. He can't be Batman." We had Heath Ledger spitting in his hand, "I can't quit you" with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I can't quit you.
I can't quit you. And then everybody, and he's the best. And everybody loves his Joker rendition. Everybody went out and got ha ha ha. Why so serious tattooed on him?
They even did it before the movie came out. He was so good as Joker that just the one picture of him with his card and the purple suit, everyone was like, "Oh, I'm in."
Him being a Twilight vampire and start worrying about. If you've ever seen a movie, I want to say it's called Transmetropolitan. With Robert Pattinson, it was an indie flick. It's just him the entire time talking.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's an amazing performance. The kid can act.
Well, he can act. That's for me. That's his saving grace. He can act.
I'd rather see him act in the suit only. Him as Bruce Wayne just kills the whole vibe of the movie for me. I can't stand it. He looks terrible.
That, but I don't even want to see him in the suit.
Steve,
I agree.
Steve is hating big time.
I'm gonna give him a chance as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne, I just can't get behind it. I just think it's a terrible look for him.
But you got to remember, we've only seen 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe of Bruce Wayne from the new movie.
Maybe it'll change or something, but
they're
right now,
obviously
from what
not
we've seen,
going with
can't.
the traditional, already established head of Wayne Enterprises Bruce Wayne, right? Like they're going with the year 2 Batman, year 1 Batman, something along those lines. Probably year 2 if I had to guess. Right? Younger, still trying to figure out what his role is and everything like that.
I think they confirmed it's year 2. Yeah.
Yeah, they have, right? So in that aspect of it, Bruce Wayne's not the Bruce Wayne you're thinking of.
Right.
The Bruce Wayne everybody thinks of is the posh, debutante,
the suave, ladies' man.
If you've read Batman comics, everybody knows that his 0 year, year 1, year 2 Batman was not that Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
it just wasn't. He's still trying to figure it all out. So if we're going into the movie with the concept of that's the Bruce Wayne that he's got to be, this movie to work, then I think he's gonna nail it.
I think a big problem. This is my opinion, but I think it applies to a lot of people. I think the big issue is that we don't really know the overall game plan, so it's hard for people to jump on board and give someone like Robert Pattinson a chance when it's possible we're gonna get him for 2 to 3 movies and then he's gone, and now we have to deal with another Batman. I think the benefit to saying, look, he's signed on for 10 movies. We're going to use him to kind of build out this universe. Makes everybody go, okay, there's a long-term plan. Let's kind of jump on board and see what happens. Yeah. Mr. Buttersworth said it is year 2 Batman. So they did confirm that.
They're not going to sign him for 10 years because he's going to be trash.
Probably.
Listen,
I think they just need to stop making Batman movies.
I really love the anger coming out of One Shot right now. Scythe, I agree with you.
I'll be the first one to come on here with you guys and be like, listen, I was wrong. I don't know what to tell you guys. I tried to champion for the kid.
I don't know.
I would rather be wrong and not you, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But Scythe, I kind of agree with you. I've been saying this. You and I have agreed on this for a while. I feel like we don't need more Batman movies. I'm ready to kind of stretch my wings, so to speak, and get new characters. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little more excited for the Black Adam, even though I'm still iffy on whether The Rock's going to actually do a good job as Black Adam. I mean, The Rock's The Rock, and what I don't want is for the whole movie to be The Rock in a superhero movie. He's got to kind of become the Black Adam, and I don't know. Not
So
dub
what
Black
I
Adam,
think
but
we need-
I think
I
he'll do.
think we- I think
he'll
we
do
need
all
more
right.
Batman.
But what do you say? You think we need more Batman?
But here's the thing, right?
Well, we talked about this last week, even though nobody could hear you guys. We need Nightwing, we need Robin, we need Red Hood.
Yeah.
So
Like,
in
expand.
order to do that, you have to expand the Batman. I think they go with the Batverse. But here's my thing though. We need Batman stories that are real Batman stories, right?
Yes, agreed.
Oh, you need to establish him as the linchpin of the DCEU, right? You need to do that through established stories that we already have. So
Right,
if
right.
they bring us the Riddler, like 0 Year, Scott Snyder's, Greg Capullo's Riddler thing, right? I'm completely down with that. If then they transition that to like Court of Owls,
Mm-hmm.
they bring us Court of Owls, like let's go. I'm all in on Batman.
And Robert Pattinson did say that he wants to face the Court of Owls in the sequel if they do a Batman sequel.
Yeah, and that's where they should be going.
But here's my problem though.
Storyline.
But here's my issue though with what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. But why build out a Bat universe if we're not going to tie it in to an overall DC universe?
Yeah.
You
You
can
know?
down the road, but you can down the road.
Right, but
You have
the plan right now is that the Robert Pattinson Batman is his own thing and has nothing to do. I guess Flashpoint
Right.
can always change all that, but
Which
Mr.
is
Buttersworth says
fine.
he's ready for a Nightwing movie and a Gotham villains movie. Yeah, you know,
Yeah, and
I'm all down for
If
that.
you
But
guys-
how do you establish a Nightwing movie without first establishing your universe as Batman?
I don't disagree, but we already know we're not getting any Robins or anything like that, Tim Drakes in this movie. And if we do, it's just going to be a cameo at the end. This should be the movie. Bring us the Tim Drakes and you know.
No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
No, this should be
Do it in
it.
two.
Come on.
You should do it in 2.
No.
Do Court of Owls because Dick Grayson.
do it in
Oh,
2.
Yeah, here's the thing. Establish your
They
Batman.
gotta hope 1 is good though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I'm
we got a new member to the stream. What's up, big guy?
Val.
We got real quick. We got a first time chatter in the stream. Rampy26. It's all about money and which characters that will bring in money to the average person. Yeah, I mean 100%. In the end, it's a
Yeah.
business, right? And they know
You're not
Batman.
wrong.
No matter who they cast as Batman, is gonna be a moneymaker. So that's why they're focusing so much on Batman. I don't.
Here's what
It's just
I don't
it's
hate a
weird.
lot of the things that they're showing us. I don't hate the bat suit. I don't hate
Right.
the new Batmobile. Like I don't hate Catwoman. Like everything looks good about the movie.
Riddler is amazing.
I don't
least it
like.
looks
I think the
amazing.
biggest thing I don't like is that I'm cool with getting the Penguin. One, as a fat person myself, they should have hired a fat actor. I mean, where's the woke world now? But more all jokes aside, I don't like that they've already announced Penguin's getting a spin-off show on HBO Max. We don't even know if the character is going to be good in the movie, and you're already jumping the gun, which is a mistake that Warner Bros.
I
has
don't
made
like that.
over and over
they
again.
did the same thing with Peacemaker.
The-
Now Peacemaker show.
Well, yes, they did, but let's be honest here. James Gunn has kind of earned the right to be like, yeah, I'm going to do a show about a character, and they're going to go, yeah, you know what? Here's all the
Matt
money.
Reeves is an established director.
Not for superhero movies.
What?
What do you mean, so what? We don't know. It's a very specific genre. We don't know that he knows what he's doing. Like,
This
you know,
need
Kenneth,
to
Br-
retract
Gunn
that.
wasn't
what's his name?
before he
Kenneth
did
Branagh
Guardians.
but Kenneth
in a,
Kenneth Branagh or whatever his name is, they hired him to do Thor. He was an established director then. He was a phenomenal, like, big time. Did
He
these
was
great
more of an
movies.
actor. That
but
was
he-
like his first director.
No, that wasn't his first one. He was already respected as a director at that point. But for very like artistic pieces, they gave him Thor. Everyone thought this was going to be a phenomenal movie. Thor was the worst character of the MCU up until Taika Waititi took it.
Hold up. Matt Reeves, the Planet of the Apes movies.
The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. No, I know what movies he did, but those aren't superhero movies. Come on now. And let's be honest. If you don't have what's the guy's name, Andy Serkis in those movies, they're okay.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis is really why those movies were good.
Andy Serkis is your next Killer Croc. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll take it. Oh, I would take it 100%. I would take it. Andy Serkis
You
in
know?
any mocap for a comic book movie, I would take 100%.
like Planet of the Apes movies. Those are those are comic book movies without being comic book
Well,
movies. They're genre movies.
Yes, but
So,
I can't disagree with that. Honestly, you got me on that one, all right. But Andy Serkis, I still stick to it. Andy Serkis is the reason those movies were as good as they were. If he wasn't in them, then no.
but even still, like putting those movies together, like he knows how to tell a story the right way. It's giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's a better choice than Nolan was.
Yes, I could see that for sure.
Like anybody that's ever read a Batman comic knows that Nolan didn't know what he was doing.
But here's my problem, though.
Wasn't the most amazing Joker we've ever seen. We would be talking about the Nolanverse like you guys are talking about Robert Pattinson right now.
Listen, that's not a bad point. However, Christopher, I will argue right now, and I'll say it live on Twitch. Hopefully, the audio is clear. Christopher Nolan may have ruined Batman as far as movies are concerned because he made it so grounded and it did so well that we're so focused on a grounded in reality Batman that we're never going to get a comic book Batman. It's just going to be this from now on. Every story has got to be made so that it can happen in real life. That's fine. It worked for Christopher Nolan's movies, but I want a Batman that can coexist with Superman, with Green Lantern, with Blue Beetle, all these other characters. I don't know that we're ever going to get that now because of how good the Christopher Nolan movies were. They tried, and Zack Snyder screwed it up, or I should say Warner Brothers screwed it up. Honestly.
But here's the thing: the Christopher Nolan movies were good in spite of Christopher Nolan.
Well,
they were good because Ledger was amazing, Hardy was amazing, and then but the stories themselves were not strong.
Well, they were basic. I mean, it was very simple stories for the most part.
They weren't strong stories. Like he proves that he doesn't know the character of Batman.
So real quick, I got to interrupt real quick. First, Mr. Buttersworth is saying, what about a Zack Snyder version of The Dark Knight Returns? Which I think he wanted to do that. He should have. He should have.
George Clooney was the best comic.
Well,
Batman changed my mind.
Rampy26 says George Clooney was the best comic like Batman changed my mind.
No, actually Affleck was.
I think Affleck was probably the best. And I've said this, I think, on the Facebook group too. Affleck, I think, was the best Batman overall. He just had the grit, the experience.
Affleck became my favorite.
He's the most comic accurate Batman we've got. Like,
and that's besides the fact that he's the only Batman that's had a real Batman comic book Batman version like fight scene on camera. Because the rest of them had good action scenes, but he like that whole warehouse fight, hands down, is the Batman fight we want.
Yes. 100%.
I don't care what you say about Batman vs Superman. The movie was terrible. Let's just get that out the way. But the warehouse scene is the most accurate live action Batman thing you'll ever see.
I agree. I agree. Especially coming off of like the Arkham games too. I mean that warehouse scene completely. Even if you didn't like Batfleck, that warehouse scene should win you over as a fan of that character.
100%. That's Batman right there. In a nutshell, that's
agreed.
Batman.
Rampy26 says overall Keaton. He says Keaton was better than Bale, and Buttersworth just said they should have made a Frank Miller Batman, dark, gritty, and such an a-hole. Well, and they gave us a version of him with the Ben Affleck Batman, but we just didn't. Like you said, really, it should have been. Ben Affleck should have had his own Batman movie, 100%. And actually, speaking of that, I gotta put the link out on the GGEN group on Facebook. They actually released the animated, what's it called, not the sizzle reel, the animated like when you're making a movie and they what the hell is it called, the storyboards, the animated storyboards for a fight scene between what would have been Ben Affleck's Batman and Deathstroke. I don't know why I can't think of the names. But like just seeing that animated storyboard blew me away with how phenomenal that movie probably could have been. And I don't know, I guess it was Warner Brothers screwed it up. I don't know who fucked it up, but somebody dropped the boat. I'm gonna find that link. I'm gonna post it onto in Facebook. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, do so now because that looked cool.
Rampy is part of the Facebook group.
What'd you say?
I said Rampy is part of the Facebook group.
Rampy, if you could find it, put it on the Facebook group. If not, I'll just do it tomorrow anyway. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if he'll be able to find it. He's lazy.
He's lazy. Don't worry. I'll definitely find it. I'll be putting it on. If not tonight, it'll go up tomorrow. So I don't know. The only other movie we didn't talk about for the Sizzle reel was Aquaman, whatever the subtitle is.
Yeah.
I am
Very
so.
little of him in there.
It's very little. We only
I
saw
like
him
the
for a
way
quick
he
scene.
looks.
He looks good, but I know this is. I try not to talk about politics too much, but I hate the fact that Amber Heard is in this movie. I feel like she should have been fired or recast. They should have taken her character out. It's just messed up what she did to Johnny Depp, and I find it really hard to make myself excited for this movie. I love the first one so much, but this one really kind of bothers me that they've just kept her in the movie.
Listen, at the end of the day, like, we've already screwed up enough with like having to recast half of their characters for all of like doing Flashpoint and new Batman and this, that, and the other thing. They just got to keep whoever they have at this point and just.
I guess. No way they could. They absolutely could have just edited around her, taken her out of the movie. I feel like shot a few extra scenes or something.
That's going to play into people not showing up to the movie because there's so many people that are against her.
Yeah, I've been reading more and more. People are just not going to go see it. And even Jason Momoa already said in an interview. I'm pretty sure I read that he said in an interview, if the movie bombs, he blames her because she's still in the movie.
If the movie bombs, it is her fault.
100%. 100%, it's her fault.
I mean, like, listen. At this point, it's take politics out of it. Let's see what they give us.
I still maintain that.
I didn't hate her in the first one.
No, listen. I didn't hate her in the first one
like
either,
her.
but I didn't know she was a lying bitch in the first one either. So
I don't like her as a person, but I think she's a pretty decent actress.
But Mr. Buttersworth says Toretto is making a cameo in Aquaman. Honestly, if he comes out and turns around and goes family, and then Jason Momoa jumps in and they drive somewhere, I'll be set.
You heard that Jason Momoa is going to be in the next Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good segue, Buttersworth.
Hobbs' brother.
He's probably gonna be like his long lost cousin. Or maybe Hobbs' cousin. Or maybe you're right. Maybe he's Hobbs' brother, and that's how they get the Hobbs name back in because The Rock ain't coming back.
Yeah, probably.
The Rock flat out said he's not coming back for the next movie or the final movie. So
he hates
Roman Reigns and Jason Momoa to do it.
We got another first time
Vin
chatter.
Diesel so bad.
I don't blame him. I'm sure Vin Diesel looks like a diva to me. We got another first time chatter. Sir Moose 3. He says, "Put your dog tags away." So I think he's talking to you, One Shot.
Fuck you, Matt.
So I will say, just kind of one last point on the DC stuff before we move on is I still think, while it would have delayed a lot of movies, I still think they should have postponed every movie except for The Flash, given us Flashpoint, and then moving forward, kind of make that a reset and give us everything else and tie it all together with end credit scenes or something like that. It's just a little confusing to me that we're getting all these movies and then Flashpoint and then suddenly it's a clean slate again. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess the idea is they spend so much money and they just want to get the stuff out, make money back, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I don't get it. And like you said before, the fact that Batman is so detached from everything else that's going on just makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not
like. What's the point? You don't need the movie.
See what they're doing, man. They're gonna keep. Look, they had already started working on Flashpoint. They'd already spent money, so it's like, got to keep going with that. Hey, money makers.
Right, but I mean, Shazam, is in that world. So Black Adam's in that world. You have, Flash, Aquaman. They're all connected, and then you just have Batman way out there.
Right. I mean, like you said, though, they could bring Batman in at some point.
Because Batman's the one character that you don't need to bring into a extended universe. You could do, they could give us a Batman movie every year, and people would go out and see it because it's Batman.
Yeah, I mean, that's not wrong.
The rest of these other characters need to have this kind of shared universe around them to bolster, because like the average person doesn't know who Hawkman is, or most people don't know who Cyclone is.
Right.
Dr. Fate, comic book nerds know who he is, but like you ask anybody that has never read a DC comic book, Dr. Fate is, they're not gonna know who it was.
If anything, they may know him from Injustice too.
If you ask them who Batman is, sure as hell they know who it is. But it's transcending the norm,
I'll tell you right now. If they show me Martha, Mom and Pa Kent, or Mom and Pa Wayne getting shot in an alleyway, I'm walking out of the theater. I'm walking out of the theater. They better not show
We
that.
don't need to see that anymore. We don't need to see
We
that.
get it.
Agreed.
All right. Let's move on
And
because we got.
speaking, just one more.
Go ahead. One
I
last
was about to
point.
say.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm like itching to
No,
get to
go
Doctor
ahead.
Strange.
Just move on.
All right, let's
can't-
move
I
on.
don't
We're
know
going to
what
Doctor
it is.
Strange. Real quick before we go to Doctor Strange, the Boba Fett finale. Did you guys all watch it?
Yeah.
I thought it was decent, but I think the show overall was pretty trash for a Boba Fett show. And we're going to save that conversation for another day because we have. I want to do a real deep dive on Star Wars. To be perfectly honest, there's I think a lot I have to say about Star Wars, and we don't have enough time tonight.
I really like the finale.
I like the show overall. Though my problem with the show is it was too short to show so much of the past. They needed a longer season to really give us his journey. Like we didn't need 4 episodes, which is the majority of the season, to learn on how he came back and how he found Fennec and all this stuff. We needed more. I don't know. I think we needed more current events rather than so much past to take up the whole season.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Agree with you is that I think that we needed no backstory whatsoever. Get rid of all of it. Give us only current events. You know what I mean? Like
I agree, but the fact that they're doing it, then we needed, I feel like, a longer season.
I will say, and I said this in my reaction note to the final episode, is they needed one more episode at least to just show us all the characters in the current time bonding or finding some sort of common ground. We went from a few episodes of learning about why Boba became a softie to him recruiting the gang and getting the Gamorreans and whatever. And then we spent 2 full episodes with Mando, which I'm not complaining because I love the character. And then the finale, suddenly everyone's friends, everyone's working together. He makes a comment in the beginning of the episode that Mos Espa has become a proper city under their leadership, under their protection, I should say. We never saw that. All we saw was people kind of rejecting them as the daimyo. And then suddenly now everyone loves that they're there. Like that, it just made no sense. We definitely needed at least one more episode focused specifically on Boba in the current time, doing what he wanted to do.
Quick too about the Pikes and how they were running Spice, which was I thought a really cool nod to Dune.
All right, let me change the graphic on screen since you're going to make me talk about Boba Fett. Hold on a second. Let me just.
I mean, we should talk about it. But
All
we'll
right.
dive on Star Wars later on. But like,
wait, where'd it go,
bro? It was on the docket. You can't just bring it up and then be like, let's not talk about it though, guys.
Wait, what happened to my image here? The image went away. Hold on. Go ahead. We're good. Just the Boba Fett image is gone.
I thought the nod to Dune was really cool.
I did love that. I love that for sure.
Because as anybody who knows about this stuff knows, is that Dune was a big influence on the original Star Wars and stuff like that. So, the Dune books, at least, I should say, were a big influence.
Yeah, that was definitely a cool nod to Dune. I mean, and you got a lot of that in the Mandalorian too, with the Krayt Dragon, very kind of behaving very similar to the worms.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how they kept it the Western vibe.
We got Rampy.
I was a big fan of that.
Rampy 26 agrees with me. It needed a little bit more time to finish the season. And Sir Moose says all that matters is that Grogu was reunited with his dada, which is true. That was in the middle of a chase, being chased by those machines. I shed a little tear for when Grogu jumps up and hugs Mando. It was cool, and just see him wearing the chainmail that Mando gave him was cool. I mean, we all knew he wasn't going to choose a lightsaber. Come on now.
Yeah, he had.
Cool. It was cool. I wanted to learn more about the past. I wanted to see Luke unlock more of his mind, and we kind of dive into that a little bit.
Well, I think they're going to save that for the next season. Well, for Mandalorian season 3, we're going to find out more. I think about Grogu's past. Maybe it won't be Luke. You know what I mean? Maybe Ahsoka will be the one.
Maybe. But what Boba did show us is 2 episodes of The Mandalorian far outweighed and
100%.
blow out the rest of the Boba episodes. Like, it just shows you how much more interesting the Mandalorian character is to Boba Fett.
I mean, Rampy 26 says the show was a great idea, which I agree with. I was very excited for a Boba show, but it's very telling to your point, Fred, that Mando showed up for 2 episodes, and those 2 episodes just instantly were better than anything we had from Boba. You know, he's clearly the better bounty hunter character we're getting, and he's already in just his 2 seasons is way more ingrained in the stories that we're getting for Star Wars after the sequels in the post Disney world. You know, the Rebels, the Clone Wars show all deal heavily in the Mandalorian kind of lore, and he is full blown in that. Boba has clearly stepped back from it, so I feel like there's almost like a disconnect. The Boba show didn't really need to happen. I'm you know, some of the stuff was cool, but it just didn't need to be there. We also get Sir Moose says Ahsoka is my boo thang, which is, you know, is true. Rosario Dawson is a phenomenal choice for the character, and I can't wait for her show.
I need to say
her show is going to be great, and Thrawn is going to be the villain for sure. If he's not, I'm going to lose my shit. And then also,
he has to be.
Mr. Buttlesworth says, I think season 2 will explain more, because this season to me was more of an introduction of Boba to new viewers of the Star Wars universe, which is it's true. This was basically like, I don't think we will either. I think we're going to get, Boba in other shows. I think Boba's going to appear in other stuff.
Yeah. I think that what they've done is they've established that Boba is now Dino of Mos Eisley. They can go back to that whenever they want to with Ashoka and with Mando and whoever else. So I don't think we get a Book of Boba 2. I think, first off, let me say this. Their use and then immediate killing of Cad Bane.
That's what I was about to say.
Is one of the most.
Well, we don't know that he's dead though.
I mean,
they didn't full blown show us him die or like that. We saw him laying there with the wound. But I mean,
I'm hoping he's still alive. But
he's got to
the
be
fact
still
that
alive.
They killed him like right away was just awful to see.
He's got to be still alive.
They were gonna. I thought he was gonna be the one in the bantha tank. I'm actually kind of happy it was also the
Cobb
the
Vance. Yeah,
agreed.
I like him as a character. I like that he's in that universe.
I will say, I don't mean to pick apart the finale because overall it was, I think, an entertaining finale. But there were some things that annoyed me. Like, for example, they're getting the gang and the whole crew is basically getting shot down and pinned down by the machine. Then the Rancor pops out, starts beating the hell out of it, and then they all stand there and just watch. And I was almost screaming at the TV, like, help it, shoot. The shields were down. Do something. Why are you just watching this thing? And then afterwards,
they were more amazed that he was riding the Rancor.
Yeah, but then right afterwards, they start shooting the thing. It just saved their lives, and they're shooting it while it's on top of the buildings. Like, come on, man. That frustrated me to no end. I will say my favorite part of the episode, and you guys might not agree, was after everything that happened and the Rancor was kind of going a little nuts when Mando says to Grogu, like, no, I got this. And he flies up there to fly it, and the Rancor is like, fuck off me. Who the hell are you? And tries to eat his head. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That made me laugh so much. That was really good. Really well done because, you know, Mando can't overshadow Boba for everything.
I think the Rancor stuff was actually kind of cool. Like, watching Boba, that led you to be like, wow, the fucking Boba Fett will find any way to win this thing, and he's riding a Rancor into battle right now.
Now, see, that's another thing
awesome.
that could have been done a little better, though. We should have had one more episode, the gang doing its thing, Black Chrysanthemum doing his thing, everyone kind of getting along. Yeah. And in that episode, just show us Boba maybe practicing on riding, or show us like that there's a saddle. Give us some sort of hint, because it kind of came out of nowhere. I think they said it once, but it came out of nowhere that he was riding that thing.
I personally liked it. I thought it was cool.
Mr. Buttlesworth says the Rancor is my second favorite Pokemon.
Made it cool to me. I don't know.
Here's the thing, right? Like, you had 2 massive reveals of characters in this season. They were completely misused. You have Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had Cad Bane.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Cad Bane is such a disappointment.
A massive disappointment.
I mean, he looked and sounded so good too.
Black Chrysanthemum, to a point, was kind of a massive disappointment also, because, like, at the end of the day, like, he just got his ass kicked in the final battle.
Yep.
Oh, he should have been your Hulk. You know?
Yes, yeah.
He should have been your Hulk.
Yeah.
Considering, like, Dave Filoni knows this character so well because he friggin' created him, like, his biggest thing is he's going toe to toe with Jedi, and his greatest like attribute is his element to get away from every fight. he's never pinned down and defeated. He somehow slips away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every time.
Right.
And to have him to be so like quote unquote absolute in defeat, like it was such a letdown. It's such a disappointment.
You're talking about Cad Bane?
Cad Bane,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was also a little cocky.
Jedi and stuff, and he lost to Boba because he learned one move when he was with the freaking Tuskens. Like, come on, man.
No,
like,
but the mistake is that they made him a little too cocky, you know, and that's not doesn't fit the character. He was never, you know, he was always about the job. It wasn't about, you know, I need to make sure I'm better than you. And he lost because he had to stand over him like an asshole and like slowly lift his pistol. You know, that kind of annoyed me.
Well, I mean that it made a little bit of sense because him and Boba had always had that like rivalry.
Yeah, they had that history. Yeah, and they kind of alluded to it.
I like that they alluded to the history a little bit.
Yeah. That part was good, but like put them off like that, and then like I said, man, you have two massive if you look at like the stats, like let's look at the stat sheet of Book of Boba Fett. You gave us Chrysanthemum, Cad Bane. You gave us Boba taking over Mos Eisley, him riding a Rancor, the reintroduction of Mando and Grogu, and Grogu training with Luke. Ashoka comes back. We should have all been like every week been like, I can't believe this is the best show ever. And like for the first month of it, we were like, yeah, it's Book of Boba Fett. Like this is what's happening.
It was boring. I mean, the stuff with the Tusken Raiders should have been at the most the first 2 episodes. We shouldn't have gotten 3 or even 4 episodes, whatever it was. It should have been the first 2 episodes. Maybe, I think episode 1 we should have seen him survive the Sarlacc pit, captured, you know, his armor stolen, whatever. Spends the time with the Tuskens. By the end of that episode, they get killed. He gets revenge. Now he's a changed man. Then you never go back to that. Episode 2 and on is just him dealing with trying to take over Mos Espa and become the daimyo, get the respect, the whole 9. I even think the Mandalorian stuff, while I loved it, should have been 1 episode. It shouldn't have overtaken Boba Fett as much as it did. For it to be 2 full episodes and we get Boba for about 10 seconds in that time frame in Boba Fett's own show is just a little ridiculous to me.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Mr. Buttersworth says I agree with Wade Poole. So disappointed in the misuse of the characters, which is true. I mean, I will say though, no one died. So as far as we know, nobody died except for.
We're assuming he's dead.
We're assuming he's dead, yeah, but
I'm hoping he's not.
I almost guarantee you he's not. Just the rule of like TV shows and movies. We didn't see a funeral, and you know his eyes weren't closed or anything like that. He was just laying there. So I'm saying nobody died, which means that they're all coming back at some point. So maybe they can redo it. All right, now can we talk about Doctor Strange? I've been dying to talk about Doctor Strange.
Let's talk about it.
Please tell me that you all watched the trailer that came out.
Yes.
First, let me just say how effing fantastic was this trailer.
It was bonkers. It was insane.
I don't think anybody thought for it to be.
It's a lot.
Oh my God. So much. It got me so excited. Just the teaser of the trailer got me so excited. Not even mentioning the actual trailer itself. So first, I got to mention. So the What If show on Disney Plus, I thought was basically like a side thing, not going to be a huge deal. Then at the end of No Way Home, we get the Doctor Strange quick trailer, and it shows Sorcerer Supreme, or I think that's what they call him, Strange Supreme or whatever, from the What If show makes into live action appearance. I was like, oh, interesting. And then we get this full trailer, and we get Zombie Strange, Zombie Scarlet Witch, full blown. It looks like Captain Carter is going to be in the movie. Like it just the trailer fully elevates that show, and that show already was kind of cool. I was so excited for that.
The America Chavez stuff is going to be very pivotal with how they traverse the multiverse. I'm pretty sure, like I know there's been a lot of debate going back and forth on who the fire figure was.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's Monica Rambeau. I think it's Photon.
I feel like it's going to be because that's been introduced. It's been set up. And we know that they're coming out with the Captain Marvel too, so they're kind of moving in that direction.
I think that's the payoff for it. Is you give us Photon in this movie, and then we figure it out from there.
Rampy26 says it will finally tie in the Marvel universe as a whole instead of just focusing on the Avengers, which I agree with. It just seems like they're basically starting to pull in every single string that's out there. Loki, between the Loki show, the WandaVision show, any of the movies, it seems like this is going to be the center of all those things. And by the end, Phase 5 is going to be in full effect, or Phase 4.
So, bringing in the on this one too.
What'd you say, Steve?
I said you bring in the X-Men on this one too, because you can see.
I don't think we do.
Well, you definitely bring Professor X.
Well, you bring in Professor X. I don't think we're bringing in the X-Men.
That bald-headed figure's Xavier.
100%.
No,
it's definitely Xavier. We're not getting the same Xavier, in my opinion.
You think we're going to get a variant?
Yeah, and the running theory right now is it's possibly the animated version of Xavier.
I would love that. I would love that.
Xavier. I saw that he's fallen out of the animated
reality.
There's a reality where he falls out of an animated version. Heard that Xavier is supposed to be in the yellow hover chair.
God, you're making me so excited right now. I hope that's the case.
It's not the same one. The one that we know is officially dead.
Well, so regardless, we're gonna get a clear indication of mutants and X-Men in particular being brought to the MCU. 100% we are. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Wanda. Everyone had the what's it called? The theory in WandaVision that it was basically the House of M storyline, and by the end of it, she was going to create mutants. So that didn't pan out, but it set her up by the end of it to be the villain of this movie. I think she's going to be more of an antagonist, not a protagonist, and helping Strange. Maybe by the end she changes and she helps him figure out whatever the problem is. But she's clearly going to be more of a bad guy or the villain in this movie. Yeah, I think she does in this movie. Something she does is the catalyst that activates the mutant gene or maybe opens up a new universe with mutants or whatever, and it's going to tie us directly into our first mutant theme X-Men kind of movie. And it's not going to be the full-blown X-Men. It'll be one mutant getting his own movie or her own movie or whatever. Deadpool is in the movie. Well, I'm sorry, I can't say for sure because they haven't confirmed it, but it's pretty much been confirmed, similar to the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield stuff, that Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is in the movie. So there's another mutant that's in this movie. So I agree with One Shot. I think we're getting X-Men.
Going to be a cameo. I don't think they establish mutants in this movie.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. They're establishing it.
I don't think so. I
think they will.
I think it gets established through the Eternals.
Rampy26 says, I heard Tom Cruise will be the Iron Man that shows his face in full silver armor. That is the Illuminati.
I heard that too.
Yeah, I'm a little wary about this. Oh, a while back we had spoken about this, and I had said the fallout from Spider-Man No Way Home might us in Doctor Strange, where they're trying to put too much into a movie. Now, I will say that this trailer made me feel a lot better about this movie. It doesn't look like we're gonna get a bunch of solid shit thrown in where it's gonna be. It looks more like the scene in Guardians 2 where they're jumping through portals and everything like that, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, look, there's Stan Lee is the Watcher. There's Howard the Duck. There's this. There's that. Blah blah blah." I think we're gonna get something more along those lines.
We're definitely gonna get a scene where they're jumping, portaling through
the Illuminati.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think
100%.
I know they haven't verbally confirmed it, but we're getting that. It's the trailer alone shows you that. I keep hearing Fantastic Four. Mr. Reeves himself is going to be on the Illuminati board.
That is the big theory about the figure on the left. Is it's Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You got Baron Mordo.
I do think we're not going to see.
Rack.
I think the problem that I think everyone's assuming we're going to actually see very clearly everybody sitting in those chairs in that one scene where they're all the chairs are all set up. I don't think we're going to see everybody. I think we're going to see Professor X because we've basically already been confirmed about that in the trailer. Baron Mordo, 100%. He's already confirmed in the trailer.
We're going to see Iron Man.
I think Iron Man for sure because you see the Iron Legion. but I think everyone else is gonna stay in shadow. Just kind of maybe we'll see like the 4 if it is Reed Richards, we'll see the 4 on the outfit, but we're not gonna see an official confirmation of the actor, nothing like that. I don't think we've gotten that far. But again, what I gotta say, I do think we're gonna get a confirmation of essentially like this universe exists now with mutants. This universe exists with Deadpool. This universe exists with Fantastic Four. Almost like they're all gonna walk in that scene through a portal, and each portal is gonna send them back to wherever their universe is, and their movies down the road are all gonna be separate universes. Because I think down the road, 10 years from now, we're gonna get some big crossover where all the universes combine. And that's going to be the next Avengers type movie.
I think it happens by the end of this movie.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're going.
I think all the worlds are going to collide, and it's just going to be one timeline.
You think so? So you're talking like, well,
Yeah.
okay. So you're talking like
think,
setting up Kang as the main villain for the next bunch of movies by the end of this one. Kang the Conqueror.
I think Kang gets dealt with in Ant-Man 3 because we already know he's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie sets up Ant-Man 3.
Oh, for sure. For sure it does.
By the end of Ant-Man 3, we are timeline set, ready to go. I think it really happens at the end of this movie. I think Doctor Strange just ends up like fixing the timeline. However, I think the Illuminati stays in some way, shape, or form, or what ends up happening is that Doctor Strange goes back to in timeline and says like we need to create Illuminati to protect this timeline or whatever.
It's possible. It's possible. Rampy26 says the Illuminati has 6 members, but there was only 5 chairs in that scene, so they're probably recruiting Doctor Strange in this movie to become the 6 members.
No, the 6 is going to be Kang.
No, the 6 is Professor X because he's got his own chair.
Oh well. That could be, I guess, yeah.
Nice. This is simple here. He floats in his own chair. He doesn't need a chair.
He still gets a spot, though. They didn't even have a spot for his wheelchair.
And the spot is covered by Doctor Strange's head.
Oh no, I don't think that whole setup was up to code. Then there's not even a ramp for him to go up there.
Trailer I've seen has said there's a space in the middle for Professor X's chair.
I didn't even see a ramp for him to get up there, so it's not up to code. Then
I don't want to see Patrick Stewart as that Professor X.
They got somebody bringing a chair in, making the squeaky noise on the floor when they do it.
I don't want to see Patrick Stewart.
A theory I heard was Kang was supposed to be in one of the members, and they kind of like kicked him out. That's why he was like vanished to his own thing, and he started his own timeline police.
It's possible. I will say I will be absolutely hyped if they, by the end of this movie, universes collide and they leave it on almost like a dark note where we're in Battle World and all these universes are just together for the next, however many movies they need to do before Ant-Man 3. Ant-Man 3, I want to say, is the beginning of 2023. So they have a couple movies that have to come out before then. So maybe we get a Battle World setup. Yeah, but we don't really know what they're about. We have no idea what any of those movies are about.
We know we're getting Thor: Love and Thunder, right? And,
right.
What's the other one?
We know that's about Jane becoming Thor for a little bit, but that's basically it.
And Wakanda Forever, right?
Wakanda Forever is supposed to come out, but with all the delays, I have a feeling that's going to be... With all the COVID stuff, I have a feeling that's going to be delayed.
What was on for 2022? It's Doctor Strange, Thor: Love and Thunder.
We have the Captain Marvel too, Miss Marvels or whatever it's called, the Marvels, and that's got Monica Rambeau in there with Captain Marvel.
That movie in 2022? No.
I think that was 2023, but I think it's going to be changed.
Miss Marvel show coming.
Miss Marvel's show with that character in particular. Oh, I'll tell you right now.
Moon Knight, we got She-Hulk all coming out. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't want to see Patrick Stewart back as Professor X. I want them to give us, if they're going to establish the mutants in this movie and establish the new Professor X going forward, I want it to be a new actor. I want to see him back as.
You don't want to see James McAvoy?
No, I don't want to see him either. Get somebody new. So give us a fresh take on it. Someone that's a strong actor. Because I wasn't actually a huge fan of McAvoy as Professor X in those movies. The movies are like hit or miss. They're like either amazing, like First Class, or they're Age of Apocalypse and they're trash.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with you.
Like those movies.
Oh,
like,
so we got. I'm sorry. We got the Marvels comes out February of 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out May of 2023. Ant-Man is not till July of 2023.
Yeah.
So we got a little while to go still.
I think Thor leads into Guardians and Doctor Strange leads into Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way they're gonna be playing this. Am much more excited for this movie than I was previously after this second trailer.
I was already excited. I love the idea of making it horror themed. Sam Raimi coming back got me excited. Seeing Shuma Gorath fighting Doctor Strange in the middle of a city of New York is just something I never thought I'd see in a live action movie. It's just everything about this movie is awesome. I love the first Doctor Strange. I love that they're bringing Mordo back. God, I can't say it. And they're kind of continuing that storyline. It just looks so good. Having Strange Supreme make an appearance even for a quick battle or something is good. Seeing a live action Strange vs. Strange.
There's a theory that Strange, that those aren't all variants of Doctor Strange. He changes as they go through the different universes.
I can see that. I can see that happening.
Like the zombie Strange that you see, they're saying that like there isn't a zombie Strange variant. He just becomes a zombie
when they're in the Marvel Zombies world.
Like him, America, and whoever else there is on their team at that point.
Just
so I'm assuming he's building a little team with him.
I thought the closest we were going to get to seeing a zombie version of any of the heroes live action was in the Mysterio attack in Far From Home when we saw Zombie Iron Man. And then to get the animated show, I was, kind of like happy and satisfied with that. But to now see that we're going to get a zombified Strange and a zombie Scarlet Witch in this movie, it's just Marvel knows what they're doing. They just know what they're doing.
I also have a hot take on this.
What's that?
I think that Doctor Strange is going to become the Tony Stark role.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning he brings in the next version, whatever team up that they're planning on, whether it be Illuminati, whether it be the New Avengers, whatever it is. I think he ends up being the guy that brings everybody together. It's
possible, but I don't think, my gut tells me we're not getting another Avengers thing for a long time. I feel like
maybe not an Avengers, but if he brings together an Illuminati team.
I mean, I've said this before. I really think that we're getting
the trailer. Isn't the trailer kind of telling us, and it could be wrong, but isn't the trailer telling us the Illuminati's already there?
In some universe.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we don't know that that's the Illuminati. I mean, we're assuming it is. It looks like it is, but for all
it's the Illuminati, bro. Come on, like what else is it gonna be?
We don't know for sure. We don't. For all we know, that's a time variance authority, just a new version of it. There's no confirmation of that. The Illuminati.
The like they're kind of like they're escaping the realities to be in this group type of thing.
Rampy 26 says when the zombies
it could be time be different wherever they're
right, which is true. Which I think is how it leads into the Ant-Man 3 with Quantum.
We're assuming that this version, and what we're talking about is that this version of the Illuminati is in a time nexus.
Well, yeah. Well, they could be in the quantum realm. Just make it easy. Put this in the quantum realm, Rampy 26 says when the zombies were in the comics, there was a big comic Punisher book called Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, and that took place across different universes. I would love if they did that. Oh man, that'd be amazing.
There was also Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe,
and he's in the movie. So, what were you gonna say? One shot.
I literally said the same thing. Yeah. Duplex did.
I still want to see
really?
like what if Wolverine becomes the king of or the Lord of Vampires adapted to live action. I'm gonna repeat that until somebody hears me and makes it happen.
What if season 2 probably?
I would absolutely love that. I would absolutely love that.
I think Moon Knight's gonna bring us vampires and werewolves.
Well, so that's what I was just gonna say. I mean, I think I said this a couple weeks back too. The MCU, they're clearly gearing towards multiple teams. The Midnight Suns, the Defenders are going to be coming back at some point. The Young Avengers will be a team at some point. I don't know that we get the Avengers for a while. Clearly, the Illuminati or some sort of team or group is in this movie. So I feel like, and then I think Fantastic Four will be its own team. The X-Men will be their own team. Everyone will essentially be separate and dealing with their own shit. And I think down the road the plan is to bring all these teams and not just individuals together for some major battle with if it's Kang, or I still think I remember years ago, right around when Disney bought Fox, there was this inside source rumor that said that the next major event was going to be the Avengers versus the X-Men. So I think 100% we get individual mutant movies building up to an X-Men movie. We get a couple of X-Men, like, that's like the Avengers, X-Men 1, 2, and 3. But then at some point, the X-Men and the Avengers go head to head. Rampy at 26 says the Avengers think the X-Men or should think the X-Men are a threat and have them go at it. I think we get that 100%. I feel
so
like
that rumor, and I remember hearing that rumor, but that was also predicated on the biggest comic selling at that point was Avengers versus X-Men, right? So, I mean, you may not be wrong. Like, that really may happen, but it doesn't happen without the Phoenix Force. Which I think they have to establish in one of the Galactic movies. So we're either talking Guardians or Thor. I think you're on a good track here. We're going to be getting all these separate teams. I mean, me, you, all of us have kind of like come to that assumption that like we're going to have like the your Midnight Suns, the Nine, whatever you want to call them, supernatural kind of guys. Your Blade, your Moon Knight, your Werewolf by Night, your all those guys.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Have your defenders, your street level guys. You're going to have your military guys, your Falcon, your Winter Soldier, your Black Widow, all that stuff. Your Hawkeye,
War Machine will be a part of that.
War Machine, Armor Wars is coming. We know that. You're going to have your mutants. You're going to have. I think that's what forms the Illuminati. That Doctor Strange is like, let's get one from each.
Right.
Form this new Illuminati because he gets the idea from this movie, and kind of forms, and forms it with.
Oh, so you're thinking he's rebuilding. You're thinking he's going to rebuild the already existing Illuminati.
I think he's going to build his own Illuminati because I think that Illuminati that he fights is in a different universe.
But now, isn't the point of the Illuminati though that they kind of span multiple universes anyway, and they kind of just oversee things in different universes?
Not necessarily. They try to deal with all the stuff that happens with the multiverse. So like whenever there's a multiverse problem in their universe, they're the ones that kind of like deal with it. And they do travel to other universes eventually. Once Mr. Fantastic comes up with I think it's the Nexus G or whatever the hell it's called. And I guess the Illuminati gets a little wacky sometimes, but I think after this movie, Strange realizes that he needs to
like his own team. Yeah, I can see that.
Have his own team that won't be corrupted because this one obviously was by Mordo.
Right. And Mordo's whole thing was about getting rid of sorcerers, which is that's definitely a possibility for sure. Maybe Mordo. Maybe the story is that Mordo convinces them that Strange is a problem, and he kind of recruits them to help catch Strange, and then Strange messing with the universes in No Way Home kind of. He uses that as a way to kind of signal that, look, see, this guy's causing problems, so they try to stop him.
Because you think of your original Illuminati from the comics and stuff like that. You got Superior Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Namor, Black Bolt, and Professor X, right?
Yeah, and Namor is supposed to be making an appearance in Wakanda too, so. That's it.
Namor's supposed to be coming in Wakanda forever. You're establishing some sort of Professor X in this movie here.
There's apparently a rumor that Black Panther was supposed to be in this original. Of course, he can't.
Right.
That's why I think they're bringing in Mr. Fantastic into this one instead.
Yeah. Right.
You have your Mr. Fantastic, you have your Professor X, you have your. I don't think they go Black Bolt.
I don't think they go Black Bolt either. I just feel like there's no precedent to introduce a character like that. They haven't even hinted at it.
I mean, because you can't.
Didn't they introduce him in the show? Yeah, that was supposed to be a movie.
Yeah. the first episode was a movie that they filmed that they showed in theaters, but it wound up being so bad that only got like 8 episodes out of the show. Like the Inhuman show is pretty terrible.
Yeah, the Inhuman show was bad.
I mean,
they did a good job with Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I thought.
It's a shame that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not really canon. I mean, I know it is canon, but they just ignore the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And it's such a good show.
I heard they're looking to bring back that kid that played Ghost Rider in the later seasons.
They should, because he was hands down the best Ghost Rider. He was fantastic as Ghost Rider in those seasons.
I liked him, and I'm not mad at like the Robbie Reyes version of Ghost Rider either. I would like to see a Johnny Blaze on the motorcycle eventually, but I know they showed him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but like, really?
No, I would love if they gave us like an actual Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, but Robbie Reyes to me was established in the right way. He was a great character. He was acted well. He looked good on the show. But now give him the MCU budget, the real MCU budget. It would be unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I like the actor. The actor's good.
100%.
Actor was really good.
Real quick, because I don't want to run too long. So real quick, I got to ask, what's the prediction for the end credit scene? Maybe not the one that ties up the loose ends in Doctor Strange 2, but what do you think is the tease for the next movie?
Thor.
But so you think it's Thor like dealing with multiverse stuff? I have a feeling Thor: Love and Thunder is going to deal with multiverse stuff because I think that's how Jane gets the hammer. You know, right now there's no hammer available.
Thor's the next movie.
Thor: Love and Thunder, I believe, is the next one. I'll tell you right now. Let me double check. I have it up here. We got the Moon Knight show, Doctor Strange 2. Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in July. So that's the next major movie.
You either get a Professor X, like end credit scene.
Yeah. I think that's where Deadpool comes in. I think Deadpool is going to be the end credit scene. Maybe him talking to Patrick Stewart's Professor X and making like some fourth wall joke about, you know, like why did they bring me in here? I'm not even a part of this universe. Isn't this the MCU or some stupid shit like that?
If Deadpool's in it, I think Doctor Strange goes through one universe into another, and as they're passing by, like Ryan Reynolds is there in the Deadpool costume, being like, "Hey, campers, how's it going?"
Yeah,
I think he's in the end credit scene.
Rampy 26 says it could be Thor progressing to his more powerful forms. That could be the end credit teaser where they basically show Thor working out as Bro Thor, so that when his movie comes out, he's back in the normal Chris Hemsworth shape.
Yeah, that's possible. I think maybe they give us the first look at Gore.
Possible. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to really reveal much. I think if anything, it'll be Chris Hemsworth maybe on the Guardians of the Galaxy ship. You know, kind of a quick kind of joke with them. Or maybe they go the Spider-Man No Way Home round. They just show us a flat-out teaser trailer for Thor. Our first look. You know what I mean?
That would be
awesome.
I'd love it. I would absolutely love that.
And going forward is do a little quick little end credit scene, and then the second one, instead of giving us another one like the Shawarma bit, trailer.
100%. If that's what they decided to do, put a mid-credit scene in every movie, and that is, you know, something that has to do specifically with that movie, setting up the sequel to whatever movie we just watched, but then give us an end credit scene, which is just a teaser that we haven't seen before of a new movie. I'm here for it. 100%.
Fantastic.
My money.
100%.
My final thoughts is. I think we're gonna have another Westview like event happening with Wanda. I think she's gonna attempt to try to create her perfect world again. And,
you think so?
What was that?
Have you seen the rumor that Hugh Jackman's supposed to be reprising his Wolverine role for this?
I've heard he's making a cameo with him. That's the other thing too. Is, you know, to your point, Zuplex. What if Strange is traveling multiverses? He's jumping around from realm to realm or universe to universe. He jumps into a spot where Wolverine, you know, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Deadpool are playing cards or having a drink or some stupid shit like that. Which is Hugh Jackman's always said he'll come back for Wolverine if he could do it with Ryan Reynolds and be in a movie with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So we could get that.
Might be a thing. I don't want to see him come back and be the full-time Wolverine for the MCU.
See, Rampy 26 says Thor should meet Beta Ray Bill. That could be the end credit scene. That would be dope AF, as the children say these days. That would be fantastic.
If you look at the end of the trailer, in Wanda's eyes, you'll see like two containment units, like jail cells or whatever you want to call it, and they show those same cells like earlier in the preview.
Okay.
American Cop is in one of them, yeah.
I think the one that she's specifically looking at that's in her eyes is her two kids.
Which
Oh,
makes sense. I think that's where she's trying. That's her whole goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why she's going ballistic and trying to bring everything down. I think she's trying to get to her kids, and her kids being quote unquote mutants and being separated like her and her brother were is just driving her batshit crazy.
I think this just makes me feel like Doctor Strange. This trailer needs a frame by frame breakdown, so I'm gonna have to make that happen.
This trailer has so much in it. It's
so much.
Got a lot. But I mean, listen, that's a really great theory. I could see them doing something like that and bringing in. She goes to a different universe and she finds, Speed and Wiccan, by the Illuminati, because she's a Nexus being, right? So she's a constant.
Right, she can do whatever she wants.
Right.
So she can travel between universes, and she's always the same. The Scarlet Witch is the constant in every universe, right? She's a Nexus being. So if she did have children in another universe, and the Illuminati would probably want to contain them somehow. I like that.
Right.
Thread. I like
to somehow control her.
Theory, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where her and Doctor Strange team up to go against the Illuminati we see in this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe Strange realizes that they're not really doing the right thing by doing this to her.
Yeah.
That could be
she goes full blown Wanda and just like
right. And then Strange needs to just go full blown Sorcerer Supreme to fucking take her down.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I like all these theories, but we've hit the hour and 30 mark, and I'm gonna call it because we can talk for freaking hours on this. Thank you guys for taking an hour and a half to just bullshit with me about random stuff that we love to talk about. For anyone who jumped into the chat, thank you guys for commenting and giving us more stuff to talk about. Because Lord knows we need as much to talk about as we want. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe all these videos. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You'll get a lot of the updates and stuff first on Facebook, and then it kind of trickles out everywhere else. Keep an eye out for all these guys that you see on screen, except for me, really, and TheCaptain playing Call of Duty on Twitch. But starting this Saturday, for anyone who has a PS5 and just wants to join, I'll be playing Horizon Zero Dawn 2 on Twitch. I'm going to start streaming it Saturday, or this weekend, I should say, Saturday or Sunday. And for anyone who has an Xbox, like the guys on the like Steve and Zuplex over here, if you want to know what an actual game looks like, come watch me play, and you can see what it looks like on PS5. And
I'll also be tackling Horizon.
Keep an eye out and join in when you can, man. We love the ideas, we love the comments. We want you guys to give us as many comments as possible. Thanks, guys, again. And we'll be back next Tuesday. Keep an eye out from here and then, but we'll be back next Tuesday with another stream. I'm sure there's going to be a million other announcements because it seems like they're just nonstop right now. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
One last thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead before I hit the button.
Robert Pattinson's going to be an amazing Batman.
Oh no. With that, I go to the intro.